Hello, I'm Brenda from Joelle Worldwear and one of the bloggers for www.changeclotheschangelives.com. I'm always writing about ethical fashion, about human trafficking and slavery within the industry. I'm writing about the factories that have very unsafe working conditions for those garment workers who are often underpaid, underage. Yeah, I'm always writing to you. And the written word is very powerful, don't get me wrong. But today I thought I'd try something different. I thought I'd just talk to you about ethical fashion and just tell you a brief story and then show it to you so that you see it with your own two eyes. I'm going to tell you a story about some children in Mexico. If you're a tourist and you travel down to Mexico, you used to see and can probably still see a lot of children standing in different tourist areas selling little purses. They're purses made of intertwined candy wrappers. They're dirty candy wrappers that the children have found or eaten themselves. And they've intertwined them and they've made like little change purses out of them, little wallets. Maybe some of them even make larger clutches or handbags. Well, there's a family in Mexico, a very fortunate family, who looked at this situation and said, there's something really wrong with this. These children are not getting an education. They're standing out here selling these purses that they've made from their own talents, handcrafted, but they're selling them to tourists so that they can bring home the money to mom and dad, so that mom and dad can put food on the table. Because tourists are a lot more likely to buy from a cute little kid than from some older man or woman. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. I've done it in countries all over the world. Well, the family recognized that these children were not, in the long run, going to be very well off not going to school and not getting an education and simply selling these dirty candy wrapper handbags on the streets, so they decided to rent buildings from the Mexican government. And what did they put in those buildings? Well, they put daycare centers. They cleaned the factories up, and they also put printing presses in the factories, and they called these candy companies like Twizzlers and Double Bubble and said, hey, we got an idea. Can we buy the rights to intertwine your candy wrappers, clean ones, that we've printed out on some printing presses that we've just installed in our factories, and make purses out of them, and then sell the purses to help these individuals in Mexico sustain their lives for their children, for their families. And the candy company said, wow, that's a great idea. So that's what they did. And now, the older children who were walking the streets selling dirty candy wrappers intertwined into purses to tourists are now going to school every single day. And their baby brothers and sisters are in daycare centers in the factories, close to mommy and daddy. And mom and dad are learning how to make these gorgeous little handbags. This is my Olene handbag from Mexico. I've had this handbag now for 3 years. Take a close look at it. I've got Popeye on mine. I love Popeye. I have since I was a kid, because he eats spinach. Anyway, I've had this handbag for 3 years, going on 3 years. It's got a zipper. It's really well made. The candy wrappers, as you can see, are nice and thick, intertwined with each other. And this family in Mexico, they upped the ante just a little bit, and they covered it with recycled plastic. That's probably the eco part of the project. Why is it ethical? Well, here's why. From beginning to end, it's just an amazing project. You heard the story. We've taken older children off the streets and put them into school. We've taken younger children and gotten them care right in the factories and daycare centers. We've got the parents making these and sustaining the family's lives as they should. We're using clean, sterile candy wrappers to make them. We're covering them in recycled plastic. And then the family is turning around and selling them to me wholesale, but for a fair trade price. They're not going to let me undercut these families or themselves. Why? Because the families need to put food on the table. And the company needs to stay in business and sell more of these purses to continue to help more Mexican families. And me? It's wonderful. I've paid a little bit more than what somebody else might pay for these handbags somewhere else, but I don't mind because I still make a profit. I can still make a profit so that I can stay in business to help projects as wonderful as this one in Mexico. That's one of my ethical fashion stories. This is Oline. Look them up on the internet if you'd like to. Joelle Worldwear sells these in a mobile boutique in North Carolina, and they'll also be online very soon, before Christmas. So it's been nice talking to you, and I'm going to try to stay right under 6 minutes. Have a great weekend. Bye.